So dream pursuit is messy, right? It is a challenge every day because you have a goal. And so when you have a goal and you have something you want to achieve, when obstacles come in, it can be really frustrating and it can become discouraging. But it also, you recognize that, you know what? Here's an obstacle, here's a challenge. We have to find a way around it because we know what it is we're living for. We know what it is we're striving for. Versus if you don't have a dream and you say, you know what, it's easier to not have a dream. I don't want to experience those disappointments and those setbacks. Then you just let life happen to you. And then that creates a set of circumstances that allow you to fall back asleep and be stuck in those cycles of self-destruction.
Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron, Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy, Tijerina.
And today we want to talk about building your dream.
When you hear the word dream, maybe you're thinking about something that is unachievable, something that's only a fantasy that can never become reality. Well, that's not what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about, igniting inside of you your purpose, your passion, dreaming about what your future could look like, and then making that come true.
But we also want to talk about how to maintain the course, right? Because when you come home and the two of you are together and you're dreaming, you're building, and you're accomplishing everything you talked about on the 15-minute phone calls and the visits and everywhere else you communicated with, maybe by email or letter, we want you to understand that it's going to be hard, but it can be done.
We know so many couples, so many people that while he's in prison or she's in prison, they're talking about, well, when you get home, we're going to do this. We're going to build a life together that's going to look like this. And then they get home and they're quickly taken off track. It starts out 1 degree, then it's 2, 3, 4. Before they know it, they're already at 180 degrees going the opposite direction of what they intended.
And this happens more often than not. But we want to encourage you today with key principles on how to maintain the course, because why? This is important to your success, your re-entry success, because when you re-enter society, the key factors of you making it are what happens in the home. And if you can achieve those goals and those dreams that you've been talking about in phone calls and visits and all those other avenues of communication, right? We guarantee you will be successful in any level of your life as long as you're maintaining the principles that you talked about and that you learned.
So the first dream that usually falls away is the dream of making a life and building a life post-prison together as a couple. We know so many couples that are so leaned into each other, and then as the individual, the husband or the wife, the male or the female, transitions back out into society, the world comes in and they let trouble destroy the us in the relationship. And then everything begins to unravel, their family, their relationship, and every other dream they had. And so today on this show, we're going to talk about that, what it's really going to look like as you transition home. How do you carry those dreams from inside the walls to outside the walls and then let them grow?
So as you've been sitting in the day room, or you've been walking the yard, or you've been having a visit with your family, you have been dreaming about doing something different. Well, we want to encourage you to continue maintaining that dream. Continue to live like that. Because when you stop dreaming, then you stop living.
It is so easy to come out and have society hit you so hard that you convince yourself, you know what, my dreams can never come true. This is all I'm ever going to be. Because the world, as you come out, the world is not going to embrace you right away. And so we want to prepare you to be able to face everything and recover. Build a strong us, build a strong legacy, and make your dreams come true. But in order for that to happen, you've got to know what you're up against and you've got to have a plan.
So we come back, we're going to talk about what it really means to dream.
I'm your coach, Tremaine Hall. We're looking forward to getting you to the next level in where you want to be in fitness. Our whole method is to make you mentally tough and also physically strong. We're going to start with dynamic warm-up, lower core, upper body, and also full body blast. Get ready to take your fitness to the next level. TYRO Fit and Stenos.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about building your dream. And now we want to talk about what does it mean to build a dream?
Now, as you're sitting in your prison visiting room and you're talking together about what you're going to do after prison, that's dreaming together. right? So you're dreaming about, hey, when you get home, we're going to start a business. Or when you get home, we're going to buy a house or buy a car together. We're going to have children. You know, as you're dreaming and you're thinking about what is possible, that's what we're talking about. Things that you can actually achieve in your life and in your relationship.
But we also want to talk about, you know, when you get home, we have to deal with the issues that got you where you're at. Right? But that doesn't mean you have to look at it in always in a negative way, because this is about dreaming and building a life together. That means healing, that means growing, that means exposing or being transparent with one another in a way that brings growth, that takes your world into a better place.
In order to really launch your dream, you have to deal with what is. Not what you wish was, right? Not what you hope for, but what really is. Like if you know, okay, in our relationship in the past that we had struggles over money or that we were unable to be taken at our word, you have to begin preparing, and I'm going to even use the word fertilizing, the ground of trust and say, okay, this is what we need to do in order to make our dreams come true. So as Ron sat in the prison visiting room, and I came in for the visit, and I came in, and we were sitting there together, and we were talking about what we wanted for our life. We talked about, first and foremost, how do we heal us, right? How do we get rid of what's happening inside of us? So we had to deal with what was right in front of us in order to be able to overcome that so that we could move beyond that and move into the realm of possibilities.
You know, this is not going to be easy. But when you give each other permission to dream, this begins a healing process. This begins with, you know what, I want to hear what you want out of life. I want to hear how you see our future ending up after this experience, because we want to encourage you that what you're experiencing is not a lifestyle. This is not permanent. This prison visiting room, it's just an event in your life. But if you're not embracing it like an event in your life, then you will continually repeat this cycle of self-destruction, right? Because what got you there is not what's going to get you out. What's going to get you out is your whole change of mindset, how you see the world, how you see each other, how you see the possibilities, what can happen after prison with you and your family.
In order to do that, you've got to flip the script, and you've got to start thinking about, you know, a lifestyle of dream pursuit. A lifestyle, say that. A lifestyle of dream pursuit. That means that you are constantly working towards the next goal, the next dream, and making it come true. That means taking risks. And so first risk that you're going to take honestly and truly, you've got to be honest with yourself, because you can't pretend like it's not risky to invest in your relationship. Because it is. We recognize that there is risk involved. When I'm giving up on the outside and saying, you know what, I'm going to focus in, I'm giving up money, I'm giving up time, I'm giving up energy to invest in Ron and invest in our relationship, there's risk there. Because gosh, you know, what if this doesn't last? What if Ron comes home and we end up not making it, and I've invested all this time, all this energy, and yes, all this money into the relationship?
And this is some serious questions, because as you're dreaming together, the fear is going to set in. The mind battle is going to take over and make you wonder, is this worth it? Right? Is he who he says he is? Has he really changed, or has she really changed? And all these factors are going to come in, and they're going to hit you guys hard as you're dreaming together. But that's normal. Mm-hmm. That's normal. That's what's supposed to happen. And you have to deal with it. You have to talk about those things. What's holding you back? What's stopping you from success in your relationships? Even and ladies, I want to say this, as you're waiting for your husband, your man to come home, what's stopping you from building a place for him when he comes home?
And the same thing with you fellas. If you're waiting for your lady to come home, and you know, and I don't even really like the word waiting, if you're working hard to build a new life so that when she comes home, that you guys have got a new foundation to build upon, because that's what it's really going to take. That means you're investing in your dream. You're investing in the future. You're creating stability for the future. So when we talk about building your dream, we literally mean building, putting forth the effort in order to make it happen. Your first dream of the healthy relationship.
Now, we're not talking about that picket, that white fence and everything you said when you were just courting, right? When you were trying to win her over or woo her over, guys, right? We're talking about brick and mortar here. We're talking about what does it take to really build a solid foundation, a solid dream that you know is going to withstand the test of time, right? We're not talking about something fleeting. maybe you had a lot of ideas in the past and you started something and didn't finish it. Maybe you started a business and didn't follow through. Maybe you started school and didn't follow through. Maybe you started a book and didn't follow through with it. We want to encourage you that as you dream together, pick up the pieces, pick up the portion of your life that you know you can handle. Don't start to dream big. We're going to get into something here where, let's start dreaming with small things. Let's start having small victories. What is this? This is building a lifetime together. Two strong people building a bridge together.
Now, I would say, yes, dream big, but start small. And so say that. Dream big, start small.
Well, the saying is, if your dreams don't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough, right? But we want to say is, let's get some wins under our belt. Mm-hmm. Let's get some wins. Let's say, what's the biggest dream? How about let's just pay our electricity bill on time? Mm-hmm. You know what? Let's not have the repo man come to our house. These are big victories, right? Yeah. Where you're able to start sustaining and paying your monthly bills on time without having to go to somebody and ask them for assistance.
So as you begin to start that dream pursuit lifestyle together, just think about, okay, like Ron said, the first obstacle, what's the first thing we need to do? And it might be rebuilding trust. But as we think about this lifestyle of dream pursuit, it means that we're constantly together planning out what's the next thing that we want to accomplish together. How do we make our lives together flourish? And that starts while you're still incarcerated. You don't have to wait to get on the other side of the gates to begin your dream pursuit. As Ron was still in prison, we began to build the Ridge Project. We began to build out programs. We began to really dream and think about, how do we change our lives? How do we change our family and every family coming behind us? We didn't wait until somebody else gave us permission. And as we talk today, you're going to want to stay tuned all the way to the end, because we're going to be talking about why it's so important. And then we're also going to be talking about how. How do you actually make living a life of dream pursuit a reality?
As I think about, our beginning of our incarceration, I'm reminded that one of my jobs became CEO, Chief Encouraging Officer, to help Cathy dream and encourage her that she can do it. You can do it. You can get off welfare. You can hold down a job. You can pay the bills. Because really, while I was incarcerated, that's all I could do was be her biggest cheerleader.
Oh, he thinks that's all he was doing, but he was doing so much more. So when we come back, we're going to break down why it's important, and I'm going to tell you what I saw in Ron. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to TYRO. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word, which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Your job isn't to extract value from your friends, your family, or your community. Your job is to create value in every situation that you find yourself in, to help others become more successful. So what I want you to do is I want you to list 3 things that you add to your friendships, to your family, and to your community.
Listen, you are fighting every day for something, and maybe you don't even know what you're fighting for, but when TYRO comes into your life, it's there not only to empower you, but to give you a clear vision and a clear direction of what you're fighting for.
So really what TYRO means is to fight for your legacy, to become a leader in your home, your community, and your workplace.
Hello guys, I'm Jermaine Hall, lead coach of the TYRO Fit Skills program.
And I'm Brandon Tijerina, the Senior Director of TYRO Support Services. We've partnered together to bring you such an amazing workout program that's going to take you to the next level.
Because there is a measure of joy and a measure of pain in everybody's life. So when we think about shock and the impact of shock, typically, people don't find themselves stuck in shock. Most of the time, people can navigate out of that.
So here's what we want you to do. We want you to think of a time that you experienced shock in your life, and we want you to write it down. Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron, Tijerina, and today we're talking about building your dream.
Woo! We're talking about living a lifestyle of dream pursuit. It is possible. And I will tell you right now, when you are living your life, pursuing your dream, even challenges and hardships actually invigorate you because you know what it is you're living for.
You know, dreaming while we're incarcerated, guys, you know, I'm talking to the men here because I know what it means to dream and to dream big. But I also know what it means to share dreams with dream haters. You know, people who don't believe that you can achieve anything. You know, misery loves company, gentlemen and ladies. Misery loves company. So be careful who you share your dreams with. You know, what we're talking about now is why is it important to really dream together and how to, you know, Cathy mentioned the word dream pursuit and really how it engages one another and continuously to help each other grow despite the circumstances that you're living right now, because maybe you're not getting ahead. Maybe you're experiencing that every day is so tough that you can't even believe you're making it through another day. But we want to encourage you that what you're doing, if it doesn't kill you, will make you stronger.
When you change the way you think and you move from a place of just letting life happen to you and feeling victimized by life and feeling like, gosh, I just don't have any opportunity and letting fear just grip you, and you change that to say, you know what, nobody else defines me. I'm going to make my lifestyle of dream pursuit. You are changing the whole dynamic of your life and moving into a place of what we call post-traumatic growth. Instead of post-traumatic stress disorder, right, where we actually are inhibited, when you use your trauma to create growth, that means that you've changed your mindset and said, wow, I have the opportunity to dream, and I'm going to dream, and I'm going to pursue my dreams. Is it hard? Yes. But is it worth it? Yes.
Listen, you're going to come up against yourself, your own mind battles that you're having, the fear that's going to creep in, is going to try to suffocate you from dreaming. Maybe you've heard a lot of negativity around you while you've been incarcerated. Maybe you've seen a lot of people fail around you while you've been incarcerated. Even if you fail, please hear this. Failure is not fatal, nor is it final. As long as you're pursuing this dream, you will be successful. You may not make it the first time. You may not make it the second time. But as long as you keep trying and talking and living together, despite not even being together, you're still living life together. This dream that you and your wife, you and your significant other will empower you to see it through the next day, the next year, depending on however long it takes to get you guys home. And when you do get there, you can become successful. But you gotta go through this phase. You gotta start dreaming, you gotta start talking, and you gotta start believing.
So dream pursuit is messy, right? It is a challenge every day because you have a goal. And so when you have a goal and you have something you want to achieve, when obstacles come in, it can be really frustrating and it can become discouraging. But it also, you recognize that, you know what? Here's an obstacle, here's a challenge. We have to find a way around it because we know what it is we're living for. We know what it is we're striving for. Versus if you don't have a dream and you say, you know what, it's easier to not have a dream. I don't want to experience those disappointments and those setbacks. Then you just let life happen to you. And then that creates a set of circumstances that allow you to fall back asleep and be stuck in those cycles of self-destruction.
Now, if you're just laying down in your rack and you're in your unit and you don't get up with any purpose, go back to bed because you're still in the way. You need to wake up with a dream. You need to wake up with purpose and passion behind that purpose. Because if you're just doing your time and you're not accomplishing anything, maybe you need to learn how to read. Maybe you're having trouble reading. Maybe you need to go get a GED. Maybe you want to go back to school. Whatever that is that you can accomplish while you're incarcerated, this is what we're talking about. That's a dream. Go make it happen. And if you can empower and encourage your family, whatever they need to do in order to get to the next level, then encourage them. Bring excitement in their life by you being there rooting for them.
Now, I told you at the end of the last segment that Ron did a lot more than just encouraging me. So he says often, oh, my job, I couldn't do much from inside the gate, so all I could do was encourage Cathy. But the truth is, he's being modest and really not recognizing his role in our dream pursuit. Because not only was he encouraging me, he was doing everything in his power to be prepared to meet the challenges on the outside. He was studying. He was surrounding himself with people that poured into him. He was beginning to pour into other people's lives so that he was well positioned to make the dream come true when he came to the other side. If he would have just sat back and just left it all on me, it would have suffocated me. But because I saw him rolling up his sleeves, I saw him putting forth effort into making himself better, putting effort into the us and effort into me, it encouraged and inspired me to continue on the outside because I knew he was on parallel path on the inside. This is so important because without that hope, I would have given up.
So as you continue to do this dream pursuit, remember, if you have kids, bring them, make them part of this dream. This is very important. This is a family dream. What are you dreaming with you and your family?
As we come back, we're going to break down steps on how you can ignite that dream pursuit in your own family. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, sweetheart, you got that blank piece of paper that I need?
Sure do. Right here.
Well, that's not a blank piece of paper.
It obviously is a blank piece of paper.
This is not a blank piece of paper. Why is it that you always give me something that's not what I want?
You know what, Ron? It's obviously
I
blank.
do not
don't know
want
what you're
this. This is
complaining
not
about.
what I wanted.
Oh, no matter what I do, it's always wrong. You
What are
find
you
fault
talking
in everything.
about?
It's
This
obviously
is
a
not
blank piece of
blank.
paper. I am sick and tired
Why
of
do you
arguing all
always
the time.
trip
It's
in
never
this?
good
You
enough.
never
I'm
listen to what I'm
tired of
telling
you. I'm done.
Just stop! Wow, what did you just witness? I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And together we have been working with tens of thousands of couples for the last 2 decades.
And we have been helping couples understand that nobody's right and nobody's wrong. They're just each seeing it from their own perspective and unable to bridge together.
So when's the last time you were in a discussion with your significant other or your spouse and you had a disagreement over something so small that turned into something so big?
So many of the couples we work with have this experience where they argue about something because they only see it from their own perspective.
So I'm looking at it from my vantage point, and guess what? Frankly, I'm only want to see it my way, because it's my way or the what? The highway.
Over time, what happens is these issues start to pile up and they create more and more distance between couples. And so now we're arguing about every small thing because we have to defend our perspective.
As we began arguing, it really was apparent whose side I was on. I wasn't on her side and she wasn't on my side. In fact, we were on opposite teams.
We became enemies, and what was more important for us was to be right than for us to actually understand each other. When couples do this, they continue to erode their relationship. What you need to do is get the issues out from between you, move them out in front of you, and remember that you're a team able to navigate through anything together by seeing all sides of the issue.
Now remember, there is nothing more important than us.
If you are sick and tired of being on opposite sides and arguing over every small thing, then this is exactly where you need to be.
Now it's time to introduce you to a program that's going to teach you how to resolve these issues.
In this dynamic program that's internationally recognized, you're going to learn how to resolve conflict, how to get on the same page and listen for understanding. Couple communication, which was written by Dr. Sherrod Miller and Dr. Phyllis Miller, will actually help you be on the same team and recognize the power of resolving conflict together.
One of the greatest tools that you're going to embrace is really coming to the understanding that what you've been doing is natural. But this is learned behavior, and we're about ready to take you to a next level on how to enhance your relationship.
Now, if you're sick and tired of having all of these petty issues come between you, if you are exhausted from every time that you have interaction with your spouse, it turns into drama, then this is where you want to be. You want to sign up for couple communication. You want to take this program together, and I guarantee you that you are going to love it.
Before I even came, I had controlling issues. I had problems with actually being able to talk to my fiance. And since I've been here and learned new experienced efforts, I can change my life now, and I can actually listen to her and know what to help her with.
Information that was given was really helpful. We'll be able to use it in our everyday life for our marriage, for our children, and everything else. So I really enjoyed this weekend.
It's helped me to be able to let down guards that I was not willing to let down, because now I see a change in him, and I see him, becoming a different person than he was. He's more excited about the whole project, and now we're thinking we want to be a part of something like this.
Stop telling yourself that tomorrow you're going to do better. Stop saying to yourself, tomorrow I'll find that program. Today's your opportunity to do something not only for yourself, but for all those around you.
In couple communication, you're going to learn a brand new process. This process is going to help you avoid ever fighting over petty stuff again. It's going to take you to a new level in your relationship as you learn how to listen for understanding, to clearly articulate and share from your own experience. You're going to get on the mats. You're going to have notepads. You're going to learn skills that you're going to be like, wow, if only I had known this at the beginning.
It's not too late. We are all on this journey. We are all on this continuous improvement plan. But guess what? You have to take the first step and let today be that first step for you and your significant other.
If you're ready to like each other again and be on the same team, this is the program for you. Sign up today.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about building your dream and not running from it. Not running from the passion that you've been dreaming about. One day I might get to, or one day if this happens, I can. What is it you're dreaming about with you and your significant other? What is it you guys have been talking about? Well, now we want to talk about the how. We want to give you some key principles that you can activate in your life to make these dreams come true.
Now remember what we said, dream big, but you have to start small. You have to start with the end in mind, right? But there has to be a beginning point. The beginning point is recognizing where you are right now. So 1, know what you want. Now this might seem simplistic, but really is not. A lot of couples that we work with, they really don't even know what they want. And if you don't know what you want, you can't possibly achieve it.
So how do you figure out what you want? One of the things you gotta do is you gotta just start talking to each other, because here's one way you can do it, figure out what you don't want. If what you have right now isn't working for you, then you gotta say it out loud. You know what? This is not working for us. We need to change course. We need to change direction to figure out what can we do to make us stronger, to make our dreams come true. What do we want out of life? That's the question.
Right, so that's really number 2 then. Once you identify what you want, share it with each other. Because as you join with each other, you want the us to make it throughout your life, then you've got to be on dream pursuit together, supporting each other in your individual dreams. You may have dreams that encompass both of you, like, oh, hey, I want a healthy relationship, Ron. I want us to grow stronger. But you know what? I also want to get my degree in this, and I know you want to start a business in that. And so you're supporting each other as well as dreaming together.
I remember Cathy, while I was incarcerated, one day she said, I think I want to get we were working on my case, and she said, I think I need to get my paralegal degree. And right away, well, let me start looking for schools. And she's looking for schools on the streets. I started looking for schools while I was incarcerated. So we happened to find one. I sent it to her. And she embraced that school and graduated and got her paralegal degree. Because why? That was one of her dreams.
Because Ron supported that. That wasn't a dream for him. It was my dream, but he joined me in it. This is so important. You have to join each other in this dream pursuit. So step number 3 is find people that can help you achieve your dreams. So if together, for instance, Ron and I in a prison visiting room were dreaming about starting the Ridge Project. We didn't know the name of it, but we knew what we wanted to do. So in order to make our dream come true, Ron and I had to find other people that had founded nonprofits. We had to understand what it was going to take for us to make our dream come true.
And this is sometimes difficult, guys. So while you're incarcerated, who in there can help you? Remember, we have to be careful who we share our dreams with. So I had to find others who were being successful while they were incarcerated. Whatever dream they were pursuing, I started asking them, hey, how did you get to this step? What did you have to do in order to get to this level? Or, hey, do you know anything about nonprofits, or anything about grant writing? Or do you know anything about how to do a business plan?
So step number 4 is like a really big step, okay? Because this is what will keep you on track. Step number 4 is to check in weekly, right? To check and say, okay, what's our progress been this week? Because if you're not making even tiny baby steps each week, you're never going to make your dreams come true. Now, along with checking in each week, you can't get discouraged. If you say, wow, you know what? I've done all of this work this week, and I just feel like we're still in the same place. That's not true. You're checking in weekly to make sure you're on target and putting forth the effort. Sometimes you don't see a lot of progress in 1 week. We might have put a lot of effort in, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road, all of a sudden you see all this progress. Now for Ron and I, some of our dreams have taken, 20 years to come true. And I'm going to tell you one of the dreams that we started dreaming about 20 years ago. This was the last 5 years of Ron's incarceration. We started talking about, well, when Ron came home, one of the things we wanted to do was visit Hawaii. So for 5 years while he was incarcerated, we talked about this, and we talked about, wow, won't it be awesome? And then it took 15 years of Ron being home, of us working and saving and really planning on how are we going to make this trip come true. We didn't get discouraged. We didn't give up. 20 years, it was still worth the wait.
You know, when we talk about worth the wait, putting in the effort, you're already having your executive meetings. When you're meeting one-on-one, when you're meeting and you set a phone call and say, hey, let's have a phone call tonight, and let's just hit the key points about our business plan that we're talking about. You know, these are executive meetings. You're already practicing running a business. You run a business. If you're at a home, you got a family, that's a business, right? You got your budgets, you got your managers, you got everything you got going on inside your family. Now what you want to do is take those key principles and start applying them in other areas of your life. How do you have a successful family? The same way you have a successful business. You got a budget, you got a manager, you got somebody who's going to hire and fire. You know what? I'm not good at this, so I'm going to fire myself and give you the responsibility. Right?
That's right. You take on your responsibility. Wake up every day ready to invest in the relationship. As you plan out your dreams, you know, we talked about don't get discouraged, especially as you transition from inside to outside, because there's going to be so many people that are going to say to you, I don't know what you're thinking, you know, you're never going to be able to achieve that, but you've got to rise against that. And when you do that together as a couple, you know, the two of you together can face the world, you can overcome the world in your pursuit of making your dreams come true.
So be encouraged. When we come back, we're going to close up. We're going to wrap all this up in a tight bow, and we will see you when we get back. Welcome back to TYRO TV. Today we're talking about building your dream. And I want to really make sure you understand this part. Don't share your dreams with everybody. Not everybody's rooting for you. Not everybody cares about you. And that's okay. Don't take it personal when they don't like you. Continue to pursue your dreams. It's not about them. It's about you and your relationship with your family.
Now, as Ron says that, I want to tell you, this is so true, because as you begin a lifestyle of dream pursuit, you are going to find that there are going to be people that you thought were your friends that become haters in your life. Remember that haters stands for having anger towards everyone reaching success. And when you begin to change your status quo and begin to chase after your dreams, you challenge them in their status quo. And if they're not ready to actually move into a place of making their lives better, it's going to make them angry and frustrated because they don't want to move. That's okay. It's not about you. It's about them. Let them continue to carry their baggage. You've laid yours down, and now you're running after your dreams. Do not let anyone or anything discourage you from investing in your relationship and in your dreams.
So I want to add one more thing to that. It might come from somebody you never thought would be a hater in your life. But you know what? You're going to be surprised. I promise you. Those who will smile in your face all this time, you know the song, you've heard it before, right? They smile in your face, but all the time they want to take your place. They're called backstabbers, and they're real, right? But remember, it takes one to know one. So we've all been haters in our life. We've hated on other people's dreams. So no longer living that lifestyle, but now pursuing the dreams in our life, pursuing the encouragements, and wanting to change our life, not only for ourselves to make our lives better, but for all those around us to help their lives become better. Stay focused. When you wake up with purpose, wake up with passion. Know your agenda for the day.
In order to really build your dream, you have to know it's possible. Say this. It is possible to make my dreams come true. Now let's say it together out loud.
It is possible to make my dreams come true.
You must believe it, and hearing it ignites faith inside of you. So when you start getting discouraged, go look in the mirror and remind yourself it is possible. It's worth the blood, sweat, and tears that you're going to invest in it, because that effort is going to pay off.
It's exciting to see your dreams come true. It is rewarding to see what you dreamt, what you took from the unseen and brought it to the scene. And people are going to ask you, you know, those who are hating on you, those who are rooting for you, wow, you did it. How did you do it? Can you help me make my dreams come true? And that's when you come to a whole new level of life, when you're able to empower and teach others on how they too can live out their dreams.
We want to thank you for joining us today on TYRO TV. And until next time, always remember
that we are rooting for you.